Hey, accelerators. Sorry for being a little bit late today. Just got back from a meeting. Uh, of course, I'm meeting with my partner, Julian Wright, to strategize and look at our plan for the next 6 months. Um, I'm about to head out on a vacation for a couple of weeks, and we have to get this down, make sure we are aligned. It's very good for partners to be aligned on where the next 6 months are going to sit, and really every 2 to 3 months reevaluate performance according to those targets of where you want to go. Not strategies, but targets underneath of those strategies, and whether those strategies are being executed effectively. That's what we do, and so we're doing it for ourselves. So make sure with your businesses there, you always take the time to keep um, that mindset. Are we hitting the performance goals that we anticipated hitting under our current strategic angle? And if not, is there something wrong with the strategies? Is there something wrong with your performance? The strategy is solid, but your performance is weak because of some other reasons. Um, that is what you have to figure out with your business model on an ongoing basis. Hence, business model management, which is business modeler. And it's Jeff Bruno here on a Friday, 3:20. Hope if anybody doesn't see this now, they can see it as a replay. That'd be great. So let's jump into how we pull apart financial and operational strategy and tie it into quantification, ways to quantify that, which is what we do, and stay on top of it. So let's jump into some questions here. It looks like it's a small amount today for 4 questions. We'll jump right in. All right, first question. Looks like we have 3 from Ricardo Delgado. Only 3. Where is everybody here? Sean, get these financial and operational questions out here. Get them over to me. I'm willing to help. I'm giving my time, guys, to this. I love helping small companies, but I need some questions. All right, so here we go. First question from Ricardo Delgado. What are some practical ways to build relationships in business? I own a barbershop. I want to continue building relationships in my field. Are there any suggestions on how to do this effectively in any industry? So, Ricardo, this has nothing to do with financial or operational strategy, but unless you build relationships in business, you ain't going nowhere. So I strongly believe in that. Sure, Sean could speak to that big time. He's a huge relationship guy, as he's built this whole network of excellent mentors and excellent businesses within accelerators.org. He couldn't have done that without amazing relationships that he built. So, yes, relationships are key. I guess the question is, where do you get some of those relationships? How do you build them? Which is what you're asking. And I don't have some magic wand or great philosophy for this necessarily, other to say that, within your lane, within what you know and what you're good at, stay within that lane and kind of depend on people like in accelerators or other areas to give you the knowledge that you seek to make the next steps. And I guess the best way to say that is to build relationships is to really depend on people for that. If you are running a business as a CEO and you are majorly, it's good to have ego as a CEO, but if you think you know everything, and trust me, I've run into plenty of those people, and I can say myself, I do not know everything by any means. And I've run into plenty of people in business that I've worked with who think they know everything as the entrepreneur or leader of the business. And it is impossible for everybody to know everything. So the biggest way that I've built relationships up is I've stayed in my lane. So I've said, oh, I'm not good at that, but you're clearly good at that. So maybe you can impart some of your knowledge on me, and that could help our business improve. So people feel valued in that scenario. They feel like they're bringing their skill set to the table for you, and they are really helping you, and that makes people feel good. And that's how I built relationships. Of course, there's always a self-serving component to this, and not in a bad way, but in the sense of you need to build your business and you need to do it effectively. And other people will understand that in your desire to build relationships with them, because ultimately down the road, if you build a nice business, then you got business for these people you're building with, especially in the circle of networking. So that's the idea behind it, and I try that approach. It seemed to work pretty well for me. Second question from Ricardo. How does a sales professional build their sales skills? So Ricardo, I'm going to have to pass on this one, man. This is really for the salespeople. I know there's a mentor that does the sales part. That's just not my area. There you go, Ricardo. That speaks to the relationships. Next question from Ricardo is, would you recommend someone to have a trust fund set up? As I'm getting older, these questions are something to think about, especially for business owners. If any mentors have experience with this, I would appreciate any feedback. So, Ricardo, again, this is kind of out of my realm here. This is more for a attorney, an attorney who's familiar with business, because you want to figure out where you are in your life, what your estate scenario looks like. Why would you want to set up a trust? Are there things with your family maybe that a trust makes sense for? All of those things. Are you trying to do it for some other reason, to secure maybe some of your assets, protect it from creditors in some way? I'm not sure. So I think that's all an attorney question. So I would go there. I know a great guy, Len Garza, who's in my network. He deals with exactly this problem. Happy to refer him into accelerators, or I'm sure there's other attorneys in accelerators here that deal with that. Next question and last one is from Kelly Killingsworth. Kelly says, how do I become a better person and treat people better? How do I learn to communicate as a business owner? How do I learn to communicate with key leadership mentors in my circle? Owner of Kelco Construction. We are an excavation and trucking contractor for the dirt world in Northern California. It is imperative that I learn to communicate with my mentors, advisors, leaders, banks, etc. Something must have happened to me in the past that changed me, not in a good way. I need to figure out what that is, face it, and learn to treat people better, especially the people that are trying to help me out. Kelly, that's great. And Kelly, I have this uncanny memory for things like this. And Kelly, you are a good person. I remember speaking to you. You are deep down a good person. I could tell right off the rip that you are. You're trying to do a good thing by building this business. I could tell that as well. You want to do good by people. You want to do good work. I could tell that immediately from you. I spoke to you maybe 2.5 years ago-ish, and I remember you. I think you could be very successful. I also remember, and this is very poignant for you, Kelly, and great timing on this question, even though this is not really financial and operational strategy and quantification, it's an important piece. So I tried to help you. A great call with you. I think I referred you to some people, or I gave you an email on some topics or something, and you didn't respond. So you didn't communicate back to me. And I can say that right there is a great example of, I specifically loved, we were doing one of the things that Accelerators was doing where it was the extra mentorship thing or something. And I had, talked with you separately, or some projects you were asking about or something like that. And we talked, and I said I'd get back to you or send me an email or something like that. Some communication that didn't happen. By the way, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of it. I'm not critical of you or anything. But that's a great way for you to improve your relationships with people, and you'll come off as a better person, even though I know deep down you are a good person. That's what people come to want to value. So I think that's a big piece. Stay on top of it, fast communication, quick response so that people feel feel good about doing stuff for you. And that goes a long way. So I think that's it, man. You do that and you'll get a lot of good traction. So not a lot of finance stuff today or quantification, which is fine. Happy to do what I can, and hope everybody has a great day. Talk to you. Bye.